How you doing, Andy?
Aye, no bad, Ross. Aye.
How's your mum?
Much the same. Aye, just slow progress. So, uh, just take every day as it comes.
How are you? You all right? Yeah.
I'm all right. Just a bit tired. I was up at 5 this morning, so it's like
You been for a
to go
swim?
to go to work, like no for anything else.
Hey, you been for a swim?
I have the night. Yeah, I went for a quick dozen lengths. Better
Is
than
there a
nothing.
lot that go for it at night? Yeah, swimming.
It was actually quite quiet the other night, but I didn't have time to stay any longer. So. Or I would. Some nights you go, it's quite busy. There's another sports place here that's closed at the moment because it got flooded. So the place I go tends to be a bit busier than it's
Right.
nice
Okay.
when it's quiet. How are
Yeah,
you doing?
I'm all right. What's your perfect heavyweight, Andy? Perfect height, weight, reach, style. You know, for you that you think you need for this era.
Uh, 6'5" is probably big enough. 6'3" to 6'5", maybe 16 and a half stone, maybe 17 at the most. Not any heavier than that, because I think movement's key in it in a lot of aspects. If you're lighter and slicker than the other guy, you can ideally be a switch hitter as well, I would say.
What do you think to Usyk? Do you think he's right height and that?
Yeah, I don't believe he's too small anyway. I think he's bigger than Muhammad Ali was, wasn't he? He's heavier. He's actually heavier than George Foreman was in Rumble in the Jungle, wasn't he? So George Foreman was called Big George. So
Yeah.
uh, I
But
don't
it's
believe
same
he's too
height,
small.
isn't it? Same height as Big George, isn't it?
Yeah, same height and but a better boxer. I mean, I love Big George, but Ali didn't call him the mummy for nothing, did he? But he was deceiving Foreman, wasn't he? Good power, but and good chin and good basic boxing skills, but he's a bit slow. His footwork was a bit deceiving, actually. I think his footwork was better than he got credit for, but he knew he was good at cutting the ring off, wasn't he, Foreman?
What would George Foreman have done to some of these today?
Smashed them a bit. Button Moon, there'd be no space in Button Moon. It'd be no room at the end, no room in the moon.
What do you think to Canelo then leaving PBC, Andy?
I kind of thought he would go to Zone because that's the gateway to Saudi probably for more money in it. I mean, how much money does he need though? That's a good question, isn't it?
Yeah, well, he ain't got a fight lined up at the moment. Nobody knows what they're doing, do they?
Is he as hungry as Big Meech for money?
Well, Big Meech is getting paid, isn't he?
He's getting paid. I've got a bad feeling about this fight for him. I've just, like I said last time, I think he's got a big banana skin ahead of him that could come unstuck. I think he's too eager to outdo Fury, innit? Thinking he's outdone Fury with Wallen, which a few years after what Fury did Wallen, but that was a good performance for Big Meech. But like we said, Wallen was like a whipping boy for him in sparring previously, wasn't he? That became apparent. But I think I just don't see him stopping Ngannou. And if Ngannou gets a bit of confidence, I think Ngannou is more confident going into this fight than he was going into the Fury fight. I think he he's not going to show Joshua the same respect. I don't believe, but we'll wait and see. Yeah, the interest.
Are you disappointed that he's not going to be Benavidez or Munguia?
For Canelo, yeah, it should be. Yeah, it should be one of them for Canelo, shouldn't it? Benavidez, I would say. Then.
They're saying it's going to be that Belenga, aren't they?
Mm, not familiar with him, I don't think.
It's just one at weekend, and he is now mandatory for Canelo.
Right, right. Oh well.
Got Eddie wheeled out saying, "Oh, we've got to do our mandatories," you know, all that one. Now that
Uh,
it suits them.
when it suits, when it suits. But yeah, it's the narrative changes with the win, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah. It's it's a strange sport, mate. Very, 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 very strange. and it's run by even stranger people.
It's always shifting, eh? Everything, the scenery's always shifting. Scenery shifts more often than crossroads, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the problem you've got. That's what we've got. That's what we've got at the moment. That's your problem. I know we spoke about this before, but I'm still not over the fact that Billy Joe's never going to fight again.
No, it's a waste, a waste of talent, it's just disappointment, eh? An unfulfilled career, you've got to say, yeah.
An unfulfilled what?
Career, boxing career. I think I just hope he doesn't have regrets one day about no pulling his finger out when he should have.
Well, 8 year and 3 months ago, right? In that period, which is what, 75 months? You know,
75 months.
99 months, yeah.
Yeah.
So the next month, it's 100 months, right? Since that's how many fights he's had, 8 in 100 months.
No, you said it.
In 8 fights in 100 months, and Tyson Fury's had 10 in 100 months. They're not exactly active, are they?
And that's the undoing. That's their undoing, really, isn't it?
I think social media is the problem for both of them in the spare time.
Yeah, it can. Yeah. Social media is a curse, really, isn't it, for people like that, really.
You think
Better,
if it falls
better,
into wrong hands?
yeah, better staying away from all that, really, yeah. If they just get starts off slagging matches that kind of get out of control, doesn't it? And didn't win themselves any fans, I don't think, in some ways with that.
If I'd have been his manager, Billy, I'd have said, right, you're a 154, not a 160.
Yeah.
From the very beginning. And I made him knuckle down. And he'd
Can
have
you
been an all-time great now.
can you imagine what he would have done if he'd had like said better be for Usyk's discipline?
Oh, yeah, but we've spoke about this, haven't we, before? It's instilled in them, innit, from a young age, innit?
Yeah. They don't know any different, do they? It's just thoroughbreds, really, isn't it?
Oh, God. What did you think to the news that the Rocky Fielding might not fight again?
Oh, he might not fight again either. Ah, right.
He's
I never heard that.
He's only young, isn't he? I can't be that old, was he? In his early 30s.
Yeah, he's not that old, that.
He might be about Big Price's age.
Late 30s, mid to late 30s, is he?
I think he went to school with Big Prices, didn't he? Big Truck.
Big truck, yeah.
Let's have a look. Rocky Fielding.
He must be 37, 38 then, is he?
Yeah, he's 37. 37-year-old. So he's knocking on a bit, isn't he? So
Maybe getting on a wee bit now.
Maybe his Frotch retired, didn't he?
Yeah.
He had his last fight when he was late 36, a couple of weeks before he was 37, and then retired, didn't he? But
Lennox
Rocky Fielding.
Was Lennox Lewis about the same age as that when he retired? 37, 38.
Oh, yeah. What a great fighter he was, Lennox Lewis. Could you imagine him now?
I know, eh? Brilliant. It was, there's him up there. Last undisputed champion.
I think we gave him enough praise when he was here.
No. No, I think he was underappreciated when he was here. Eh?
Do you think that's because they were like a +1 kind of thing?
Yeah, and he was like, there's a lot. I think a lot of the British fans thought, "Oh, he won a Olympic gold, but it was for Canada." There was a lot of maybe ill feeling about that. Maybe think, "Oh, he's not a true Brit and all this nonsense." But he was born here, wasn't he? So, and he lived here for a lot of the time, didn't he, when he was an adult? But so he flew the flag for the UK, didn't he? And through the 90s. So, nah, he deserves his. There's not many folk took the challenges he took, and he was a good shout the other night when you were saying he's in your top 5 heavyweights because he beat everybody he faced, didn't he? And fair enough, he got knocked out, but so did Joe Lewis got knocked out, and he's rated as an all-time great, isn't he? So he came back and avenged his defeat to Max Schmeling, wasn't it?
Who's your top 5 middleweights, Andy?
Top 5 middleweights, probably Golovkin's got to be up there. Carlos Monzon. Who else? Maybe
Hopkins.
James Hopkins or James Toney as well. I like James Toney. Lights out. He started at middleweight, didn't he? Ended up at heavyweight.
He didn't stay there long,
Nah.
did he? Never reigned, did he?
Maybe not there long enough to for that purpose. Who else could you have? You could have
Hopkins, Hagler.
Hopkins, aye.
Hopkins, Hagler. Monzon.
Hagler, aye, yeah, Hagler's he's a legend. Hagler, so you've got Hagler. Who's the guys back in the 50s? There's decent guys back then. It was Jake LaMotta. Was he lighter? Was he a middleweight? Or was he lighter?
He was middleweight, Jake LaMotta, yeah.
Jake LaMotta, and Sugar Ray Robinson fought middleweight as well, didn't he? But he was really more a welterweight, wasn't he?
Yeah. How do you
Sugar
see this Fabio Wardley fight when we hit Big Freeze? Because the Gads saying that they'll pull him out, Big Freeze.
I don't think he wants it. I don't think he wanted to fight. The first time they were trying to make it before he fought Dave Allen, but I think Wardley will beat him. I think Wardley's underrated. Mm-hmm. I like Wardley. Yeah. I think he's been. People have kind of looked down on him a bit because he comes from a white collar background, but I thought Nathan Gorman might have beat him, but he proved his toughness that night, didn't he? When he beat Nathan Gorman. And what was his last fight? Yeah, that was a decent win, was it? No, the last fight he had. I forget who he fought. I like Wardley. I mean, I thought Wardley would beat Dillian White. After his last fight, I thought, I think Dillian White's his manager, isn't
he? Yeah. He's got a good temperament, Wardley, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's I wouldn't say, right, maybe this fight quite loose, doesn't he? It doesn't strike me as using a lot of nervous energy up. You know, that can tire people out prematurely. He seems quite settled when he's fighting, doesn't he? Quite measured.
Yeah.
Now, I think he'll beat. It might be a points decision, but I think he'll beat It's Big Freeze.
What do you think to Zelfa Barrett against Jordan Gill?
Jordan Gill.
Yeah, Jordan Gill.
That should be a decent matchup. Yeah. When's that?
I think that's next month, isn't it? Or April, is it? For April 13th at Manchester Arena.
Right.
Yeah, Zelfa Barrett 30-2 against Jordan Gill. So, well, that's gonna go.
That'll be an interesting one. I see Willie. I see what do you call him? Ricky Burns is talking about putting him in with the Irish boy.
Yeah. He needs to turn it in now, doesn't he, Ricky Burns? He's shot to bits.
So when I seen him fought, he looked good against Willie Lemon, but Willie Lemon I think he's even older than Ricky Burns, isn't he? But he actually looked quite sharp that night. I thought he actually still looked like he could box well enough. But if you put him in against somebody young and hungry, that's a different kettle of fish, isn't it?
I wonder if he regrets leaving Bricktop back in the day.
Is that what kind of ruined him, didn't it? That financially,
he left Bricktop, didn't he? And Eddie Hearn said, "Don't worry about it." Then left him hanging. So he went to get a lawyer, and so he had to defend himself, and he went all the way and he lost, didn't he?
It's horrible. That's just horrible stuff like that.
Yeah.
Billy Dave Allen, really, he got hung out to dry by Eddie Hilson.
Dave Allen, didn't he? Well, I just think that Eddie couldn't deliver, and there were a time maybe when he might have been able to deliver, and they might have been low on his budget when David needed it. There's loads of stuff you can. Well, there's
Mm.
loads of stuff Eddie can answer you throw at him, but I think the gist of it was, Dave Allen, why should I waste my time on you if you're not going to put the effort in? It's that.
Yeah, well,
It's all right putting effort in on social media and being funny and everybody's pal. It's me pal. It's me pal. It's a pal of mine. Hey up, pal. Hey up, pal. So it's all right like that, like being like Ross the boss. Hey up, pal. She left me. You know what I mean?
but
But
like you say, it's a two-way street. You've got to put the effort in. There's no point in getting a big promotion deal and then you're sitting on your arse. No,
well, listen, it's all right if Dave wants to act the funny man. It's all right while you're winning, isn't it? When you're beating Lucas Brown, and Nick Webb, and all them sort of guys, Bracamante, right? When you're winning, they're going to stay out, are they? Once you
sing
get
when you're winning.
once you get beat, everybody starts looking. Then, oh, you're not taking it serious, and the funny man act. Then it ain't so funny, is it? Then, so
Tears, tears
what
of a clown.
well, yeah, what you'd have to do if you were going to a PR company, go look it up what they'd do. They say, right, you've got to tidy yourself up, but change how you
Yeah.
look, change your mindset, and you've got to live the life. It's still not too late for him, for Dave Allen. He could still do it. He could still get a British.
He could do, but is he hungry enough? Is he really? He could say he's hungry enough, but proof's in the pudding. Is he? He's not really shown us that he is up until now, has he? So you're not going to believe it until you see it, really, are you?
Oh, telling you, it's it's madness. It's madness, but hey, oh, so this verdict is supposed to be. Is it tomorrow? The verdict,
Crusher.
20, oh, 29th, isn't it? The last. They said it. The verdict would be everybody would get to know the Crusher Ben verdict of this appeal that the board have gone. The Crusher Ben versus the board. There's another hearing, isn't there? We were told we'd get the verdict for Feb. Well, we haven't got the verdict, have we?
We've got 29 days this month. That's leap year, so we're going to drag it out till Thursday.
Well, they've got another 20 fucking 5 hours. Eh?
I don't think we'll hear anything.
You don't think what?
I don't think we'll hear anything.
We're not gonna hear nixes off these people, are they? They just want it to go away, but do you know what? What they've done, they've created a hot potato now, aren't they? Because the man in the streets now saying, why is the media not putting it on these people? You know what I mean, Andy?
Yeah, that's the big question, isn't it?
Well,
Who's your guard and all them, and what are they doing? Why are they not asking the questions?
where is the guard? That's a very good question. Where is the guard? Where is the guard? Send
We
in
actually,
guard.
it's important we actually know where he is. I think.
Lock up your daughters. Lock up your granddaughters. Your babysitter, your mother-in-law, and your niece. It's the guard,
Neighbours,
the human monitor lizard.
nobody's safe.
Nobody's what?
Nobody's safe.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
I tell you what, I watched. The thing you told me about was that Extremely Dangerous with Sean Bean. I finally got round to watching it.
Did you
And
watch it? You like
oh,
it, yeah?
brilliant. I thought it was brilliant.
Plays a
I
good
watched it.
part in that, doesn't he?
Oh, he is extremely dangerous. That's a good description. I think I watched the first two episodes maybe about a month or two ago, and then when you mentioned it, and then I just actually finished watching it another night. Last night, I think it was.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
yeah. It's a good program. It's a real good program. Uh, we spoke last time out about Boazzi and Dan Aziz and that. I pushed it and I'd prodded people in the right direction, telling them this, telling them that. That Ben Whittaker and Dan Aziz, it can be made. You think I'll pissing in an hurricane?
I hope they will. If Ben Whittaker makes enough noise and demands these fights, why shouldn't he get them? I mean, It's Big Freeze is a perfect example. What's he doing? He's just stagnated. He's not fighting often enough. The people he's fighting are not a high enough standard. You don't want to see the same thing happen with him, So we need to see movement on that front, I think.
He'll do well to get his 10th fight before he's 33.
Big Freeze, huh?
You know what I mean? He could be old now. He could get old any night. Him.
Yeah. When you think about it, Riddick Bowe was done when he was 4 years younger than he is now, So
Riddick Bowe was done at 28, wasn't he?
28 or 29, wasn't he? Aye, he was done now.
Well, they were hanging on from really 26, really. It only
He
takes
lacked,
a couple of weeks to get out of shape.
yeah, he lacked discipline as well. Did he not have I seem to remember right, did he not have a kitchen off his bedroom or something? I remember that being a talking point at one point. He built a big house near a kitchen, so he was just eating himself out of shape all the time. No discipline, Again, no discipline.
Yeah, it's. I see Mark Heffron one other night. He beat that Kazan is off some guy with a losing record. Just to check cobwebs off job. Blew him away in second round. He's up and running.
That's good. The confidence booster,
Yeah. Yeah. So it's all good
Guy,
stuff.
am I right in saying the guy that beat him just got beat a couple of weeks ago, was it?
Yeah, that super middle.
Mm.
Yeah. Isn't it crazy? He's like got to be kicking this 10 Mark Heffron with that. I think it's about timing, isn't it, with these fighters at that level? You got to
Yeah,
time your camp so you're peaking. Do you think, Andy?
I think so. I mean, I can't remember what fighter it was. It might have actually been Lennox Lewis. He talked. I can't remember what fight it was, but his performance was a bit jaded, and he reckoned he'd overtrained. So he maybe peaked too early and kept going. Hadn't timed it right. Maybe. Remember him talking about that. I forget what fight it was.
Has your mind gone blank, Andy?
I can't. I just can't remember what fight it was. But it must have been one of his poorer performances.
Yeah, you know,
Uh,
earlier when we spoke about Zelfa Barrett and Jordan Gill, you never give me your predictions.
I go with Barrett points.
You're gonna go for Barrett on points. I'm gonna go Barrett knockout.
Knockout. Late knockout or
I'm gonna go Barrett early knockout.
early knockout, right? Okay.
Early knockout, yeah, in under 6 rounds. You know, first half of the fight. But what do you think to that? I know you. Do you think he can keep going through weights like Manny Pacquiao?
There's always been a question mark how Pacquiao managed to go through the weights, isn't it?
He's called Monster. They're building him up to be some scary guy, aren't they?
I think he is a phenomenal fighter, But
do you think that he might come and get us all in our beds at night and kill us?
he could do,
Hey?
He could do if he'll hunt us all down.
Where would
Surely
you...
no for praising him though,
Yeah, oh God, yeah. Where would you rank Jermain Taylor in all-time list for middleweights?
Well, he beat Hopkins twice, didn't he? So
Yeah,
he's
would
got
you
to be.
put him in Buster Douglas bracket? I wouldn't.
Yeah, probably, aye.
No, I wouldn't.
He didn't have any longevity though, did he? No, he did come back. He did come back.
Jermain Taylor's got 9 wins over world champions and when his last fight was regaining the middleweight championship, and he had that belt 5.5 years after he lost to Froch, so he had longevity, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, aye. It's a bit like, I
No,
mean,
but
Hopkins.
a couple of people in comment section were putting him in that bracket like Buster Douglas, so I thought, well, he beat Buster Douglas. So he beat Hopkins twice, and he's got 7 other wins over world champions, and he was undisputed middleweight champion. And then he managed to regain the champ. He got beat Jeff Fleischer as well, by the way. Managed to regain it. Some 5 years later. So after Froch done him, 5 years later, he was still a world champion. I think it might have been about 10 years from him actually winning it against Hopkins. But to him actually losing the belt, because he had mental health problems and that, didn't he?
Yeah.
Well,
So
I think he's a great fighter, Taylor.
he's maybe somebody else that's been underappreciated. I don't think it's fair to put him in a Buster Douglas type category. No, it's a bit like Calzaghe's win over Hopkins at the time. That was deemed as beating an old guy, wasn't it? But then Hopkins went on to win, like you say, win world titles 5 years later or whatever as well, isn't he? So
yeah.
But the Hopkins Calzaghe fight was a horrible fight to watch. Eh? It was just spoiling all the time. Eh? It's
terrible, mate.
terrible, awful. Eh?
Absolute terrible, unbelievable. Do you know these evening whips that they do, Andy? They do them up your way, near where you live in Scotland.
I think they do them in Glasgow and that.
Have like boxing stars up and all that.
I've never been to one, but I've seen them advertised. I've just never had the chance to go to one. But I think it's quite a lot of money to charge for tickets, so.
Is it because you're in the middle of nowhere?
I'm kind of in the middle of Scotland, so if I wanted to go, I could go, but sometimes life gets in the way of what you want to do.
I thought you were near the sea.
20 mile for the sea.
20 mile. Well, you're practically on beach, mate.
Maybe probably 25 miles.
That's like from here to Langall Lake, mate. God, if Langall Lake were a beach, man, we'd be biking it down there, us low lads. My dad once told me a story. They used to bike it to Cleethorpes, from Donny, in
right.
60s, early 60s. And they used to, if they got a flat tyre, they used to get grass from the side of the road and put it into tyre, pack it.
I know a guy, he lived in Rhodesia, and he told me about the natives out there. To fix what they carried about was a bit of string. And if they had a puncture on their bicycle, they would take the tube out and tie a bit of string each side of the puncture.
Yeah.
And that fixed the puncture, and then blew it back up again. That was an old trick they used, but I've never heard of grass getting stuffed in there. I guess it might work for a wee while.
Well, it's craziness, isn't it? Savannah looks like she's waiting for a date in June or some MMA fight. I wonder if she's had enough at boxing. She's become undisputed, hasn't she?
Yeah.
And she's been middleweight champion as well, undisputed super middleweight. I wonder if she's thought, do you know what? I'm going to try something else.
Think she's maybe fed up with the politics and nonsense that goes on?
Yeah, she never really struck me as that type of girl that wants to be involved in all like that. She just wants to fight, doesn't she? And get money and go on. She's not bothered about doing interview after interview, is she?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It'd be interesting to see how she gets on in MMA then.
Yeah. What do you think to Devin Haney against Garcia announced?
That'll be a decent fight as well, eh?
Yeah.
Well, I thought Lomachenko beat Devin Haney the last fight I seen of him. I think he's fought
Yeah. Nobody's going to go against Golden Boy, are they? Devin Haney.
Yeah.
Bit like Andre Ward, they're not going to. Devin Haney's not going to fight outside USA, and any close rounds, he's going to get him. You've got to knock him out to win, and he's got a style where he's not there to be hit, isn't he? He's like
Yeah.
outside all the time, and you've got to hunt him down like Joe Joyce did to the Stinkinator.
He hunted him doing okay, didn't
You what?
he? Hunted him doing okay, didn't he? Just a
He should.
systematic
Well,
hunt down.
he didn't mess about, Joe Joyce, but when he come up against old Pop Zhang, we know what happened there, don't we, lad? Well, we do,
Big
don't
bang. That's it. He came on stop.
we? We've seen it, mate, didn't we? Do you want to go on to part 2, mate?
Yeah, just give me 5 minutes and I'll be
All
right. Okay, pal.
on part 2. Thanks for liking and subscribing.